So just before we start, in case you have any connectivity issues, please check the chat box for instructions on how Ethiopia, Somalia, Tanzania, Nigeria, Niger, and Ghana. Please enjoy. Thank you.
Asayo, 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 ongetaro jalele asayo, 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 ongetaro jalele asayo, ongetaro jalele asayo, asayo.
Regeneration Africa, in collaboration with other local partners, seeks to train local farmers on better tree nursery management practices, vegetative propagation, and tree seed handling.
Tulikuwa tunafanya tu kama tree nursery locally tu. By 2019 tukaweza kupata fursa ya kutembelewa na watu wa IGRAF, na baadaye tukapelekwa training sehemu za Cheptebo kwenda kujua zaidi kuhusu tree nursery management. Tulifunzwa kwamba jinsi ya kucraft avocado. Pia tuliweza kujua, unajua zamani tulikuwa tunatumia pesa mingi craft, na tukajua kwamba how to select pia ya the science. Kuna miche aina karibu 14, sana ni cypress kwa sababu ya mbao, gravelia ambayo inasaidia mchanga, tuna gravelia, na kuna miti za kienyeji.
As a result of these capacity improvements, the Chongo Women Group have not only improved their own nursery production, but also extended their skills and knowledge to 49 other nursery groups and private nurseries in the county through peer learning experiences on tree nurseries as a business.
Kwanza tulitembelea kikundi hiki ya Cheptengis, akiongozwa na Mama Agnes. Tukakuja kufunzwa, tukapata elimu kidogo tukachukua. Mpaka wakati huu tunaona tunaendelea.
Natumia kwa kazi, hata inatusaidia hata kwa kazi ya nyumbani, na inatusaidia hata kwa watoto wa shule, tunalipia school fees.
Tumepata usaidizi kutoka county government. Hawa ndio wanatununulia miti, alafu tuna supply free to the wananchi wa ward. Kuna pesa ward wanatununua, tunachukua tenda kama kikundi, na tuna supply miti. Hapo ndio kaunti wametusaidia.
Marketing and business development skills were also incorporated in the training as the nurseries aspire to generate income for self-reliance beyond the project support.
Kikundi chetu ilianza 2019, na chenye ilitufanya tuanze hicho kikundi ni ukosefu wa ajira hasa kama vijana.
Baay'ee qilleensi biyya keenya goggogaa ture. Baay'ee miidhamaa turre. Amma qilleensi illee baay'ee nu hin deebine, akkasitti rakkoo irra turre jechuudha. Kanaan dura baay'ee rakkoolee irra turreeyyuu, rakkoonis haalli qilleensatis baay'ee nu miidhaa ture. Amma haalli qilleensatis nu deebi'e, oomishni adda addaatis waan gaarii irra jirra jechuudha. Tokkoffaa duraan madaabaraa itti goonee lafan qonnuu ture. Amma madaabaraa seeran itti yoo goone haala seeran midhaan argachaa jiru.
Aanaan koo sireedhaa gandi koo haleeluu Gasalaatii. Biqiltuu asitti argaa jirtan kana kun haala gaariidhaan kunuunsinee kaanis nyaachaa kaanis gurgurachaa irraa jirra. Biqiltuu kanallee kan nuuf kennan Piroojeektii Afrikaa deebisanii misoomsuu warra jedhamudha.
aniga magacaygu waxa weeye waa Faarax Maxamed Maxamuud. waxaan ka tirsanahay deegaanka Kubo, dadka guddiga ah ee loo tababaray inay ka shaqeeyaan deegaanka, ilaalinta deegaanka. waxa aanu halkan keer ay nagala qabtay shaqo ballaaran. shaqadaas oo ay ka mid tahay tababaro ku saabsan sida deegaanka loo nabad guurka iyo xaalufka looga magaranaysaa ciribtiri lahaa, sida wax looga qaban lahaa. Birsaambiyo inay dadku iyagu meesha ay deegaanka biin jireen oo dhirta jari jireen oo dhulka ay baholo ka jeexi jireen inay iyagu ilaaliyaan oo ay hagaajiyaan.
I like this project to continue in the Mesrani village, or all over the village, or all over the district, in order to bring that good issue in the people. Because when we come together, we must learn something good and find everything, and we can work as one if we move together. So I do like this project. I want to tell the people to come to do this work and to learn through this project, because if you want to change your environment, it is possible. You can learn something here, you can go to use at your class. We must come here and find out the thing that will going to take help the people later. So I'm just encouraging the people to join us in order to work as one.
Adị m mma. Ka ịkwanụ ka gị nwa melu?
Na-adị m mma o.
Ke maka ndị be gị?
Udo dị.
Okay. Ọlụ gị dị ihe a. Ọlụ gị amakakwa.
Na ọ malụ mmanụ mana oge ekwesịrị iji wee kọ ya, ọ bụrụ na oge ejizi akọ ya.
Okay. Ke mgbe ekwesịkwa na iji wee kọ ya?
Mmiri izizi ahụ zoonu ka ekwesịrị iji wee kọ ya.
Okay.
Mana maka na ndị na-achị efi ekwere anyị megharị arụ n'obodo anyị. Anyị taba afụ tacha alụsị ọlụ ha bịa chilikọla efi ha wole ezorisie ya. Oge ụfọdụ kwa ha bịa ha ewele aka ha ọnọ nke mbugolu nni n'ime ya, ha bịa ha ewele aka ha wepụta ya dọpụta ya wele tụpụla efi ha.
Okay, nsogbu adịrọ. O nwere ihe ọzọ ị nwere ike ikwu ma ọ bụ yọkwazie gọọmenti ka ha mere ụnụ?
Ana m ayọkwa anyị ncha niile, ana m ayọ enyemaka n'afa ụmụnne m anyị nwa na-arụ ọrụ ugbo, ka ndị gọọmenti a ka ha nebada anya n'akụkụ nke ya. N'ụfọdụ ana ntị ka anyị na-anụ na gọọmenti na-enye ife maka inye enyemaka maka ndị ọrụ ugbo, mana anyị nwa n'ebe onwebụrụ nke anyị ji anya anyị fụsọ na ntị ka anyị na-anụ ya ka anyị ji ekwu.
Tawo kimi sentene zabani zurimo da waka taso agidi dano da di damu ni noduma eno ste de no mantemo arino te dare temo ikukulmi di fara yanga fara isajo tawo ki sentene zabani zurimo gangano awo asagu awase forose asate gangani duro iga kanya dini kanya ima da gangane ya so ki sentene zabani zurimo so ete darza bora ikage hane matan ka foro wago bogu ikage ha ay mun ko dondonendi
turi anno kan turi gona kayir hansigna fanda gumo bisturo mendame kan gici dare gere fazo don bora isabe amma hun kuna iri woyir bumboy nan bora ito chanfaga dara bera do hari zan bora dugu bay ka hayno kan gondal barka bora gi kane mboga de dono hal walam labora boren hal nyama iga sombu in konda donc kan zabari zoru mo manka ayo faro agonda sande gumo zam gangino amma hun kun kan zabani zoru mo ka tamdin tener lala kan gono zabani zoru mo da RN agu sai kayo ina ay faro bor gumgumo matkan igdu ara banda songo ag banda yana yadni ga no harayo zabani zoru mo irma kani alhamdulillah.
Acres thick, which last year I started with the young one, and from the thick I get logs I sell, I have timber to sell, then the top roots I have that to sell as firewood to other people who need firewood.
This is Abdullah Christopher, a member of Biodiversity, Environment and Climate Change Association of Sound Community Based Senior High School. As a club, our main objectives is to plant trees and to preserve and beautify our school campus. With the support of the CRS, we were given seedlings like mahogany and other plants and other seedlings to plant around the school compound. And we protected and we planted them and we protected them, and they grew very well.
Great. So what a wonderful video to set the scene for our speakers. Just a brief recap of what the session is about before I introduce our first speaker. This session is basically going to showcase successful restoration practices across drylands in Africa and the men and women practicing them. So we're going to hear stories from Mali, Nigeria, Ghana, and Tanzania. And we're going to hear about how these people are mobilizing, building grassroots movements, how the local governance approaches they're using, and basically deepen our learning on landscape restoration. So it's now my pleasure to introduce to you our first speaker. He's from Ghana, so his name is Honorable John Akugure, and he's going to share with us his experience on community bylaws and the role of nurseries in restoration. Honorable John, the floor is yours.
Introduce yourself. Continue. Take over. Introduce yourself. Good morning. My name is Honorable John Akuri, a native of Tele in the Upper East region. In fact, I'm a farmer myself, and looking at the environment, it is pity. The trees are being cleared, grass, you can't even see one because of bushfires. So it came to my mind that I can't sit on the fence. I have to do something about it because I have acquired some knowledge after attending workshops with World Vision and other organizations. So I said, let me put this into use. It is better to try than not to try. So I invited, I had to call on our chief, was fixed. Then we came together. They all agree with me that something is going wrong. So we had to invite other people to come in, even with this assembly. And they helped us, and we came out with bylaws. And the bylaws we came out with was something that was very, very important because people at times have strong ears. You tell them not to do this, but they'll still go and do it. So the laws that we came out, everybody was invited to also be aware of the laws so that if you fail to abide by it, it is nobody who is your enemy, but you are your own enemy. So what happens is that if you fail, you burn the bush or you cut trees, the punishment that is meted to you is to pay 50 Ghana cedis. And if you fail to pay, then you, wherever you are farming in the community, your land will be seized so that others will also look at that and say, oh, I will not do it because somebody's land was seized. So, and that one alone, it has helped the community. And when you happen to visit our community now, you see that there's a very big change. We have trees, we have fruits that our children are enjoying from the trees. We have a firewood that is no more a problem because we have been planting trees. And the water bodies that used to dry early, you can see that the animals still have water to drink throughout the year. Then it's not. I'm not only into that. I also say thought of putting up a nursery. So I establish a nursery, nurse my seedlings with the support of my family. Then when it comes to the planting season, like when we are in June and July, then I distribute these things to communities that I've seen that a lot of destruction has taken places there, and they go and plant with even fruit trees, which they have to plant those things in their homes. And it has helped the community, and I'm happy because this is what that was my vision, and I've achieved my aim. The ceilings, because there is some expenditure, I don't always give everything out free. I used to reserve some, and those who had some the previous year planted them and they are dead, they didn't look at them very well, and some are dead. They would have to make replacement. Those people, when they come, I sell it to them and they pay me, and I use that money to be able to continue the next year that we'll be entering. So that is what I'm doing in the community as a farmer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable John, for sharing that insightful story. It's really inspiring to see what you're doing and how you've been able to mobilize your community to come up with these bylaws, and just enforcing the fact that it's really important to have rules, and it's even more important for them to be enforced to discourage land degradation. So we're going to stay in Ghana. And now I'll welcome Chief Sintaro Idrisu Mahama of the Sequoia Traditional Area of the Mion District in Northern Region of Ghana. So Chief will inspire us with insights on the role of community governance for environmental protection and restoration. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you so much. My name is Chief Sintaro Mahama. I am the chief of Sequoia, a town in the Mion district of Northern Region of Ghana, which is traditionally a farming area. I'll be talking about the role of traditional leaders in relation or relative to bylaws and environmental sustainability. What has been happening, what we can do, and what the future holds. So first and foremost, I'm also a conservation commercial agricultural farmer, where I do zero tillage or minimal tillage to build up biomass in order to improve the soil fertility of the land. I have outgrowers as a farmer, commercial environmentalist, outgrowers who we teach what the best practices in terms of conservation agriculture. In terms of the traditional rulers' role in bylaws, we were able to have a relationship with the Mion District Assembly in partnership with Catholic Relief Services. We also have other agencies that we work with, including Environmental Protection Agency, the Department of Forestry, NADMO, which is the National Disaster Management Organization, various political parties, and farmers. And basically, the idea is to enforce certain bylaws. And we looked at 4 key areas that we wanted to enforce. And before enforcing those bylaws, we needed to sensitize the public or the population. The bylaws related to commercial tree felling or tree cutting, in other words, just indiscriminate cutting of trees for commercial purposes, charcoal burning, bushfires, and wildlife hunting. And the idea is to ensure that, one, we have a preservation approach whereby the land is not degraded, because if the trees are felled or cut indiscriminately, because of forestation, the lands will be degraded, which ultimately have an impact not only on the farmers, but on the environment. And we also talk about charcoal burning, the impact of charcoal burning and what it is particularly commercial charcoal burning. Now, the impact of bushfires to the environment and particularly to farmers is something that is dear to our hearts in all the jurisdictions that I work with, I mean, where all the communities are. So in consultation with all the various chiefs within the Myong traditional area, we are able to sensitize farmers, sensitize people who go for wildlife hunting, because ultimately most of them are those who end up burning the bushes, which impacts on the farmers' yields and the farmers' ability to be able to crop properly. What do we do then? In partnership, as I indicated, with Catholic Relief Services, in the last 12 months, we've been able to plant about 62,000 trees in the Myong district. This year, the plans are to plant an additional 15,000 trees. And as a conservationist and a farmer myself and a traditional leader or chief, I have personally planted almost 6,000 trees in my farmhouse, where we use as training, where we use as a demonstration, because if the chief's palace or chief's residence, you are able to restore, you are able to preserve, and to demonstrate that there are other ways in which you can preserve and earn your living without depleting and impacting on the environment, then people will have a better way of actually uptaking it. And because of the success of that, the government of Ghana this year on the 11th of June, they have what is called Green Ghana, plan to plant 5 million trees on the 11th of June, 2021. And Myong district, where I'm a sub-chief, is featured heavily. And as a matter of fact, on the 8th of June, prior to the 11th, we are having the inauguration of Myong Environmental Committee, which has all these partners that I spoke about, the Catholic Relief Service, the District Assembly, the traditional authorities, various traditional chiefs, various political parties, the security agencies and farmers, as well as cattle herders. And this is to ensure that all the various stakeholders who have a stake in preserving the environment and biodiversity are involved in understanding the bylaws and how those bylaws will be implemented and enforced. So these are some of the steps that we have been taking and will continue to undertake and improve. In addition to that, we plan to establish various nurseries which had previously been established in certain parts of Myong district. So the rationale, because of the successes of it, we intend to establish more nurseries in other parts of the Myong district, which ultimately most places in the part of the North region can actually learn from this and implement it. And eventually, we not only having a regional-wise acceptance of the various bylaws, but a nationwide approach. And this is where I think that various stakeholders, including the traditional chiefs and political parties, have a major role to play. And so for this, we feel very, very opportune to be able to be part of it. The idea of actually sensitizing communities is to be able to tell them that there are alternatives. Things like briquettes. If we stop commercial production or felling of trees, what are the alternatives? So we're looking at things like briquettes to be able to introduce to those doing that as their businesses so that they have an alternative. Those who do bush burning, why do they do that? Is it for hunting? Then we can encourage them in terms of raising livestock, even wildlife, which I actually do crops and livestock as well. So guinea fowl production, chicken production, egg production, layers, and wildlife. So this will all go a long way to not only enforcing and stopping people from impacting the negativity on the environment, but also to provide them with alternative means of livelihood. And that is why we embark and will continue to do a lot more.
Thank you so much, Chief, for your valuable contribution. It's really impressive how you started at the local level and now you've been able to spearhead the formation of a multi-stakeholder district level. So thank you so much for sharing that. So our next story takes us to Mali, and I'm delighted to welcome Mamu Dembele, and she's joined by Karim Malé, who will be translating from Bambara to French. So if you require translation, please be sure to select the correct channel in the link that we shared in the Woover chat page, the green box on the Woover session page, and Mamu will be speaking on her work in the community on Shia production. Welcome, Mamu.
Madam Kune Mon Damile. Karana Beresu.
Hello, Mamu, please go ahead.
Oh, Ani young ma. Ne bora karana Beresu. Jakulu mi namba kwa manyednene onyama danga. E follow ankma yiritiga ani Madame Kone Mam Damile Kabo Karangana Bereso.
Je m'appelle Madame Kone Mamou. Je m'appelle Madame Kone Mamou Damele. Je suis la vice-présidente de la coopérative Union Bénin de Bereso. Continue. Continue. La coopérative compte 179 membres.
Fofala Bereso, kwa me yiri tige ani foro jeni minunke, ulu kumbe gelea lesi ama.
Auparavant, quand on travaillait la terre, on coupait les arbres, puis on les brûlait pour faire ensuite l'agriculture.
Osam taran kala yiri la doni nani oyeka farafina bingene maya.
Quand Oxfam a amené le projet Regeneration Africa,
fale erama la doni ani yiri turuli ani yiri kise dani.
Il nous a appris à faire la régénération naturelle assistée, la plantation, les semis directs et la construction des foyers améliorés.
Neni nga jamakulu anye fale erama la doni ke kachaya itari biduru. Anye yiri turu ke.
Avec ma coopérative, nous nous sommes engagés dans les activités du projet. Nous avons fait des milliers d'hectares autour de mon village et dans ma commune. Nous avons fait aussi le semi-direct des espèces locales. La régénération naturelle assistée, comme je viens de le dire. Nous avons fait aussi des plantations. Nous avons fait des parcs à karité. Des parcs à baobab aussi. Le balazan et les édifices. Comme le projet nous avait formé à faire des mesures de conservation des eaux et des sols, nous avons fait les cordons tirés. Grâce à ça, nos terres ont été restaurées. Ça a beaucoup amélioré le rendement dans nos parcelles. Aujourd'hui, grâce aux activités de restauration des terres, les pieds de karité commencent à fructifier à suffisance.
Erne barakele. Anye soroke kachaya kosebe an jekulu, muso jekulu.
Grâce à ces travaux, la coopérative a aussi fait beaucoup de rendements.
Ko aye yiri baraw do ni sebe kosebe. Ka faratina bingene maya. An yɛrɛw ka baaraw kɔnɔna na an ye situru bɔga feere caman kɛ.
Grâce à ces activités, Oxfam nous a appuyé en plateforme multifonctionnelle qui nous a permis de produire une grande quantité de beurre de karité.
Oxfam a y'an dɛmɛ a ye kɔlɔsi mansin di an ma. A ye formation kɛ an kun.
Oxfam nous a formé
cakɛda ladon cogoya la.
En gestion d'entreprise.
Ani sanni feere kɛ cogoya.
En marketing.
Ani sɔrɔ yiriwali fɛɛrɛw gafe bolodali.
Et aussi en élaboration des plans d'affaires.
A ye bolodo ɲɔgɔnnaw kɛ fana ani maa camanw ni ɲɔgɔn cɛ.
Le projet aussi a appuyé a aussi favorisé la mise en relation entre la coopérative et les acteurs qui interviennent dans la chaîne de valeur beurre de karité.
Ani bangew ni ɲɔgɔn cɛ.
Avec les instituts de microfinance.
Ani commerçants.
Les commerçants.
Ani acteurs. An kɛra premier karangana commune kɔnɔ.
Grâce à ces activités, nous avons été la première coopérative dans la commune de Karangana, Yoroso district.
An Yoroso cercle kono. Awa mina bɛɛ fo Oxfam baarakɛla cɛman na musoman bɛɛ. Ka ONG baarakɛlaw bɛɛ fo. Maa min ye nafolo in bɔ Ala ka caman bila a nɔ na. Ala kana ta yɔrɔ langolo Ala k'an bɛn a ɲɔgɔnna caman ma. N bi bɔ kuma na yan.
Grâce à ces activités, on a pu améliorer nos rendements. Vraiment, je salue le projet Reverdir l'Afrique et je salue aussi le bailleur. Merci. Vous savez que le micro fermé.
Thank you, Madam Mamu, for those words. And it was really great hearing what you're doing with your community. So we're now going to move on to Nigeria, and I'll welcome Madam Lizzie Ligbine, the National President of the Nigerian Women Agro-Allied Farmers Association, to say a few words. Welcome, Lizzie.
Thank you very much, Laura. It's nice being here this morning. I'm here in a community called Dogongada, a suburb in FCT, Abuja. Sitting here with me is the community leader, Baba Hassan Aroa Usman. Can you greet them?
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
He's greeting you.
Assalamu alaikum.
And sitting with me here is a woman leader here. Her name is Lazura.
Sunana kuma Usman Hassan, Abuja.
Greet them. She's also saying thank you for GLF to come to this remote place.
Thank you too.
We are Nigerian Women Agro-Allied Farmers Association. We are a national association, and in states and communities, we adopt a community where we work with. Now we are in Dogongada, a remote area. There are farmers and their produce is cassava, maize, vegetable, plantain, and others. They support the city. They support the city with food. Our mission here is to partner with them in training them to adapt to self-conservation. We support them in introducing the use of animal waste like chicken waste and waste from their goats and sheep around the house, to use them as manure in farming, and they have been doing well. We partner with Dogongoda also to arrange the farmers to have a cooperative so that they can speak for themselves and so that they can be able to access government interventions. We are also partnering with other organizations like the Yoshofa that will be speaking shortly. And we also are hearing from these communities we work with. They complain that the major issue is, I'm also a farmer too. I have a maize farm and I have a cassava farm. The complaint of farmers, including me, is that recently, due to what happened over the years, before it used to be that there are farmers in vegetable, in fruits, and there are farmers as herders. These people have been working in harmony. But in some years past, like 10 years ago, we started having big issues. The issues are that the herders feel that the farmers' crop is the feed of their flock. And the farmers now are revolting. But it has come to an extent that it has turned into a crisis, that the farmers are now saying that apart from our land being degraded due to erosion, this issue that started from the lake child being degraded too has led the herders to come into town to bring their flock everywhere, and they are impacting negatively on the farmers and on food security achievement in our communities and in the country as a whole. We have been partnering with the farmers in making their cases known to government in every event where they want to hear from the farmers. We speak out and mention these issues, and the government is noting it, but we have not seen a practical a solution to these issues that are bedeviling our food production and food safety. Now, the next step that we are taking is to take our case, the case of the farmers and herders, to the Constitution Review meeting, which starts from tomorrow, 3rd of June, in LCT Abuja, because they are going from state to state. What are we going there to do? We are going to table this case, that the government should look into the issue of farmer and herder. And again, the government should also treat the issue that the farmers in communities should also be captured and benefit from inputs that are being given to farmers, support in funding, and supporting the issue of land degradation, which is getting out of hand. Our farming land are getting smaller day by day. Then I'm happy for this opportunity that we are given to speak out, and I'm calling on our partners to please to support us to develop a technical solution to farmer herder issue, so that we can continue to do our business and they continue to do their business. We'll be happy if you hear from us, and if these issues are taken up by partners, it will really help us to achieve the target of being food security achieved country in the year 2030. May this dream not pass us by as we continue to pray for the good of our nation and mankind. You're hearing from Nigerian Women Agro-Allied Farmers Association, and behind me are members of the community and members of the association that are here this morning to make this case and to thank you people for working with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Lizzie, for sharing your inspiring story. You know, it's very inspiring to see that despite all the challenges you have faced, you have risen up to the task, you've mobilized the community, the farmers in your community. You've networked with other actors, helped them form groups to increase their voice and for them to get heard. And the fact that you've taken the issue of the conflict to the Constitutional Court. Success with that. Thank you so much, Lizzie.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So I'm going to stay in Nigeria and continue to spotlight women and youth as I invite our next speaker. That is Madam Ogo Ogo Chukwu, a farmer, a food processor, and a representative of the Youth and Smallholders Farmers Association. Welcome, Madam Ogo, and please share with us in the next 5 minutes. Okay. So it seems Madam Ugo is not here. She'll probably join us later. So we'll move on right to the next speaker. And okay, I'm going to invite Bishop Dr. Simon Chiwanga, and he's going to he's the founder, he's the leader, he's the founder of the LEAD Foundation in Tanzania, and he's going to help us wrap up this session. So, Dr. Simon, please, thank you, welcome, and please give your closing remarks.
Hi, Laura.
Hello.
First of all, I want to thank all who are taking very seriously the call for landscapes restoration in Africa, meaning governments, religious organizations, partners, NGOs, and all stakeholders, including the organizers of this wonderful forum, which is very educative. LEAD Foundation's intervention in helping communities to combat desertification and to restore the most degraded landscapes has two agenda items connected with one item. Number one is to scale up the most economical, the most effective method of landscape restoration in Tanzania. Mostly men in Tanzania where tree planting for years has not yielded satisfactory results. And this method we are scaling up nationally is called Farmer Managed Natural Regeneration, FMNR in short. Popularly known in Tanzania as Kisiki High. This is the managing, pruning of natural regeneration, because in Africa we have millions, including Tanzania, of living tree stumps that can be managed to raise trees to replace those that were cut down. And therefore, on the agenda is to scale up FMNR nationally, but secondly, to work with communities region after region. In the first 3 years, we picked the central region of Tanzania, one of the 7 leading driest regions in the country. And for 3 years, we've been working with communities to empower them to combat desertification and to restore their land into food baskets. We have chosen the intervention of the approach of training at least 4 champion farmers selected from target villages and train them on Efemanara or Kisiki High and the water harvesting technique, which go together to stimulate natural regeneration and to restore the land. These champion farmers go back to their villages and train their fellow farmers. And here, let me say, I use farmer inclusively, which includes pastoralists as well. After all, in Tanzania, it's very difficult to find pure farmers and pure pastoralists. But the word farmer, as I use it, is inclusive, including pastoralists. In the first 3 years of our regreening program of Dodoma region, which started in 2019, a total of 2,000 champion farmers have been trained, and 120,000 farmers have been reached and are raising trees on approximately 100,000 hectares of land. Out of that effort, at least 8 million trees have so far been raised through Kisiki High in the Dodoma region alone. This is in cooperation with our partners, Just Dig It, EBAC Foundation, and Ecosia. Lead Foundation has a motto, seizing every opportunity. As the founder president of Tanzania, Mwalimu Nyerere taught us, it can be done. Play your part. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much, Bishop, for your wonderful closing remarks.
I want to go to a video call. Actually, make a video.
So I'd like to welcome Madam Ugo to very quickly give some remarks. Madam Ugo, if you could please unmute yourself and put on your video and talk to us in the next minutes. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry about the break. It's a network fault. Good morning, thank you very much. Our farmland. Sorry, I am the leader of Yushofa, and in Anambra State, Southeast. Our farmland. Oh, hold on, please. Our farmlands are degraded day by day, degenerated day by day. Our harvest is getting low. Erosion is a key problem to us, as it have taken away large portion of our land. We support each other by use of animal waste. As a manure, mostly poultry waste. Our farm society, and we adopt self-help in land restoration by planting trees around our farms. Oh, sorry. Our farms has been
We can hear you, Madam Go. Please go ahead. What? We can still hear you. Yes.
Okay. Our farms has been, our farmers has been harassed by herdsmen and we cannot get our farmers, we cannot get our farms as usual. Women are being raped, brutally raped, mass raped by these herdsmen. Our farmers are being killed, butchered on daily basis. Why going to their farms? So we're not getting a government support on our inputs. We would like to make profit from our farms, our farm businesses, to support our families and nations. I understand that GLF is a platform where our voice can be heard.
Recording in progress.
And offered. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Ugo, for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sharing with us the what you're doing, how you're mobilizing the women, how you're employing some soil improvement techniques, and sharing on the challenges that you're facing. So sadly, we come to the end of this plenary, and I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to WUVA and on social media as well. And just to wrap up some of the key messages that are emerging from this session, what's coming out clearly is that the approaches to landscape restoration in dry lands vary. It's not one approach, one size fits all, or one approach fits all. There are various approaches which are being used depending on the context, and it ranges from approaches such as farmer managed natural regeneration, soil and water conservation techniques such as using manure to improve the fertility of the soil, tree planting, things like that. So the other thing is that bylaws are very important. And this bylaw should be focused on the causes of degradation, such as the case of what Chief pointed out, such as commercial tree cutting, charcoal burning, fires, and hunting. And then also mobilizing, it's really important to mobilize all the actors, bring all the actors together, that is communities, NGOs, governments, and bring all of them together, possibly forming multi-stakeholder platforms to be able to implement these bylaws and be able to negotiate on some of these issues. Then, of course, organizing the community, such as the farmers, into cooperatives and women groups to give them a voice and also enable them to be empowered. And lastly, also advocacy is key when it comes to dealing with issues such as conflicts, like what Madam Lizzie and Madam pointed out about the conflicts they're having with farmers and how they've taken up the issue to the constitutional court. So before we close, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the speakers for their wonderful insights and their contributions to this session. This session would not have been possible if it wasn't for you, and we're really grateful. And to everyone else, thank you for joining. And please don't forget to keep this conversation going on the WUVA chat up and also on social media using the hashtag #JLFAfrica. And also you can join the discussion thread on WUVA and share your experiences and knowledge on restoring Africa's drylands. So thank you all and goodbye. It was lovely being here with all of you. Bye.